In the United States, eggs are treated like radioactive relics, scrubbed, sanitized, and sealed in cold storage before they've even cooled off from the hen's bum. Walk into any American supermarket and you'll find them locked in the refrigerated section, like they might explode if left at room temperature. But here in Britain and the rest of Europe, the eggs are out in the open, sitting on a shelf. No refrigeration, no fanfare, no mass panic. So what gives? Are Americans just really cautious? Or are we playing a high-stakes game of salmonella roulette every time we crack one open? This isn't just about how we store eggs, it's about how two halves of the Western world took completely different paths to solving the same problem, and ended up treating breakfast like a biohazard, or not. Turns out the answer involves industrial farming, government policy, an invisible layer of slime you've probably never heard of, but that might be the most important thing on your breakfast plate. This is the story of why Americans refrigerate their eggs, and why most of the world thinks that's kinda weird. In the 1970s, the US decided that eggs needed a spa day. Not the relaxing kind, the industrial, scrub you raw kind. The USDA mandated that all commercially sold eggs must be washed with detergent, hot water, and possibly an exorcism. Now that may sound hygienic, and it is, but it also comes with a massive downside. Washing eggs removes the cuticle, also known as the bloom, a natural protein-based coating that protects the egg from bacteria and moisture loss. It's like the egg's biological raincoat. Scrub that off and you've basically turned it into a sponge. Without the cuticle, the shell becomes porous. Bacteria like salmonella can sneak inside, especially if the egg gets a bit sweaty, say when it goes from cold storage to a warm kitchen counter. So once you refrigerate an egg in the US, you can never let it warm up again. It's cold chain or bust. And since Americans already wash their eggs to oblivion, they're legally required to keep them cold from hen house to home. A logistical nightmare of refrigeration that adds cost, complexity, and irony, because at its heart, it's solving a problem they created themselves. Now over here in Europe, we took a slightly different approach. Rather than nuking the eggs with chemicals, most European countries said, what if we just didn't touch them? No washing, no sanitizing, no industrial showers. The cuticle stays on, nature does the hard work, simple. But don't mistake this for laziness. The EU and the UK, when we were still playing on that team, went after salmonella at the source. Starting in the 1990s, countries like the UK began vaccinating hens against salmonella. That's right, we immunise our chickens. America still doesn't, at least not on the national level. And because our eggs still have their cuticle, they don't need to be refrigerated. They're packed near where they're laid, sold locally, and reach your kitchen quickly. Job done. It's not that we can't refrigerate them, it's that we don't need to. And here's the thing, according to microbiologists, both systems are equally safe. America's fridge-first model works, so does Europe's no-fuss, no-fridge method. Two wildly different strategies, but the very same result. So why does this matter? Because food safety isn't just about science, it's about culture. In the US, cleanliness, or at least the appearance of it, sold. And in post-war America, nothing said modern like a spotless egg and a humming fridge. Whereas the UK, and much of post-war Europe, was still reeling from food scarcity and economic austerity, thus favoured low-energy solutions and more local supply chains. We've got a higher tolerance for the occasional feather or a smear of, well, nature. Not because we're slobs, but because we trust the process. The egg doesn't have to look perfect if we know it's safe. And then there's the class angle. In the US, large-scale, centralised food production created a system where eggs are washed and shipped across state lines. Refrigeration became the glue, holding the supply chain together. It's industrial, impersonal, and expensive. In Europe, the supply chain is smaller. Eggs go from farm to table in a matter of days. It's more local, arguably more sustainable, less energy hungry. And if you think it's just about safety, consider this. Some countries refrigerate their eggs even when they don't need to. In Australia, for example, people keep eggs cold purely because it's hot outside. Not because eggs were washed, it's habit, it's preference, it's climate. This is about norms, infrastructure, trust, and whether your country sees eggs as fragile miracles of biology or disease grenades waiting to explode. So next time you see someone refrigerating their eggs or not refrigerating them, don't panic. They're probably not doing it wrong, they're just doing it differently. The irony, both methods, bleach them and freeze them or vaccinate them and leave them alone, are equally safe when done right. It's just a matter of who you trust more, science or soap. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.